Starting grid, Beaubier, Fong, and Kelly on the front row.
Then we're going to have Josh Herron, Gagne, and Hayden Gillum. Back to row 3 and 4, we got Escalante, Cornwall Beach, Benjamin Smith, Ashton Yates, and Danilo Lewis. Flinders, Waters, Lampkin, Dion Campbell, and Gianotto are going to round out our field.
20 laps scheduled for Superbike race number 3 here at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. Revs are up. Here we go, up the hill, over the top, and into turn number 2 we go.
Josh didn't get the launch that he normally gets, so it looks like right now he's in 4th, and we're going to have Cam Beaubier leading the way over Bobby Fong. Look at Herron trying to go around the outside of Gagne. He's going to make this work too. He just let go of the lever, Greg, and went right around the outside of Jake Gagne. And now he's going to make a pass on Bobby Fong, or attempt to. Gets really tight down in there. Not quite able to get through. So Herron's in 3rd. Cameron Beaubier leading. Let's see if Cam can get in any kind of flow here.
We're going to see what the Tytler Cycles team has been able to work on over the last couple of hours with the number 6. Finally getting it done in front of his home crowd, but we know what kind of pace the riders behind him have. So up the hill we go for the first time with Cameron Beaubier leading, and there goes Herron. What a pass that was. Whoa.
That is just, when you're doing that, that's just pure ambition, wanting to get to the front and not wanting to give any of these guys hope. And you can see Bobby Fong has a look back down the inside of Herron, coming down through Rainey. You see SDK's got through as well, Greg. It's going to be Cam Beaubier leading down into turn 11, unless Herron has something to say about that. They get down in there. Look at SDK. He makes a move on Bobby Fong too. So SDK and Herron with very, very strong first laps.
Josh Herron looks over his shoulder on his Warhorse H SBK Racing Ducati to see a visor full of Vision Wheel M4 X-Star Suzuki. Fong gets back around SDK.
We're going to keep an eye this time by on what the lap times are. Look at Herron again, Greg. Just does the exact same thing. Just has got so much speed, opens up the throttle. Look at Beaubier fighting right back as they go down up into the corkscrew. So Herron had that pass made, and Cameron wasn't going to have any part of it.
I mean, that was out of turn 6. We don't see that every day. They just drove around him.
Look at this. He's going to drive right back by, coming down Rainey into turn 10. Cam's going to try to take a shot right back at him as they go into 11. And you can see Herron, he's loving every part of this. And you can see both those guys, they come out of there. Herron knows he's in for a fight as Bobby Fong goes through. And Herron actually loves this kind of stuff, I think. Let's see what SDK does.
Where are you at? And he said, I feel a little bit better, but still just struggling for some grip. He said if I can get through the opening couple of laps, maintain his position, it was going to give him something else to fight with at the end. And there goes Sean Dillon Kelly, another disappointing run, Greg.
Man, he just has not got much luck right now as he's in that lead fight again. And it looks like he's had a problem with his GSX-R 1000. So it's a shame for SDK. Back to this battle at the front, though, Greg. Pace definitely isn't really fast. 24.4 that time for Beaubier. Quickest lap of the race. I know it's a little bit warmer out there, but you got to feel like this pace, does it feel a little bit slower to you?
It does feel slower. We're doing 23s, but we also know it's a couple hours later.
Yep.
It's a little bit warmer. The sun's got, it puts a lot of heat in this racetrack as Herron once again just driving up the hill and will take over second spot. What we hear about SDK is lost his chain.
Lost his chain, yep, that's a bummer. And but man, Herron is just so good out of there. And let's see if he does the same thing again to Beaubier as they go down to turn 10.
Here comes Herron on the fight. Up the inside he goes into turn 10. A lot of camber in that corner. Beaubier trying to get the drive on him. He doesn't have it this time. And Bobby Fong was trying to make a move around Beaubier.
I've seen them fly off into the path of other riders, so glad it was okay there. A lot of frustration now for SDK. A couple of these guys said yesterday as it got hotter, track got a little slicker. But again, look at how good he is through Rainy Corner down through here. Bobby Fong now taking a shot at Beaubier. He knows he does not want to let Josh Herron just get comfortable. And for Cam, he didn't really know who was behind him in that first race. And you saw that he had the 50 on the board there. So his team has made that adjustment just to show him who it is. And it is Bobby Fong right behind him.
With this pace, 24.7s, when did Bobby Fong really want to actually put it through? If Fong's comfortable, and he's comfortable with Josh Herron leading, When do you think he would force the issue?
He's making it his goal just to be better on cold tires at the starting point. We've seen that here in the third race. He has so much confidence after getting that first win of the season under his belt, that weight lifted off of his shoulder. If he can keep defending here, we can maybe see him with another strong podium result.
They go 24-8, he goes 24-8. So it's just it's a tough fight right now for Jake back there in fourth. How Bobby kind of turns in early, and Richard, I'd mentioned that to Bobby. The thing is that when you're comfortable as a rider, you find a spot where that bike is comfortable. And we're getting into that window where we're going to have 6 laps to go this next lap through. He might decide, Greg.
Might be right now. Up the inside goes Bobby Fong. So he takes his Yamaha R1 to the lead. Herron's going to get on the gas. And he got a good drive, though. Not a lot of wheel spin for Herron, although he does have a look over his shoulder to see where his championship rival is.
Bobby Fong and Josh Herron. So right now, Herron is just trying to make himself as wide as he can and make it very difficult for Cam. I think this plays into Beaubier's hands a little bit. I think if Josh kept his head down, and I'm sure he's wishing that there was about 6 more laps to go, because the pace of these guys going to high 25s now, 25.7. I mean, just to put that in perspective, Richie Escalante in 5th was actually quicker than these two. I think VIR is going to be a good spot. But Bobby, bring him home, Greg.
Here comes Bobby Fong onto the front straightaway, looking to do a double for his team. The Attack Performance Progressive Yamaha rider brings it home and grabs victory. Josh Herron in second, Cameron Beaubier in third. Jake Gagne will come across the stripe 1.3 seconds behind Beaubier in fourth place. And how about this soldier? Injured hand and everything, bringing it home for the Vision Wheel M4X Star Suzuki team in fifth place. As Bobby Fong gets to come in to the winner's circle with a big dub again for Fong, his 7th career Superbike victory. Let's take a look at those results. Fong with the win, and then Josh Herron less than a second behind him. Beaubier in third place, and Gagne Escalante, JD Beach, the first of our Superbike Cup finishers, in 6th. Let's get right down to Jamie.
Bikes breaking and all sorts. We had Richard Escalante in 5th, Hayden Gillum in 7th, and also Ben Smith in 8th. So some good results. People will go home happy.
Yeah, and that's great for Benjamin with some of the problems that they had this weekend to come here and end up inside the top 8 and finish that race 3 strong. And, that's a big weekend for that young team to be able to have 3 Superbike races. Came in pretty wounded. They didn't even know if he'd be able to ride on Saturday. He set out the rest of that first qualifier on Friday morning and just was consistent and made sure he seen the checkered flag with a couple 5th places.
Point standings have Beaubier 31 behind Josh Herron, who scored 65 of 75 on offer. But here comes Bobby Fong, only 6 points behind Cameron Beaubier.